Come on, Daddy. Make a wish and blow off the candles. Daddy! Daddy!
Doctor, please save my husband.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but the fat is suffocating his arteries. I'm not sure we can save him this time.
I wish things had gone differently that day, but maybe there is a reason why I'm sharing this story with you right now. I believe there is. Because what happened next, through a pure miracle, saved my life and the lives of tens of thousands of men and women around the world, and could save yours too. It took 18 months and a dramatic yet incredible journey through the dark underworld of the multi-billion-dollar weight loss industry, filled with bribery and corruption, but eventually led me to the discovery of an extraordinarily simple after-meal trigger that's so controversial, it never left the big pharma labs until now. A solution that is scientifically proven to target the real root cause of your unexplained weight gain, ballooning belly fat, and digestion problems. That, as you'll see, has nothing to do with how many carbs or sugar you eat, the way you count calories, your genetics, thyroid hormones, or even age. This shockingly effortless morning trigger that you can do right now is known only by a small tribe in the Peruvian forests, 3,748 miles away from where I call home, where obesity isn't heard of and life expectancy is higher than anywhere in the world. A hack so incredible it terminates every single pound of excess weight you have, turbo boosts your metabolism, and makes you burn stubborn fat like clockwork after every single meal, even while you sleep. That, after years of failed diets and feeling like a hopeless failure, made me melt away 59 pounds of dangerous fat from my face, arms, hips, and belly in just weeks. Going from this to this, I rejuvenated my heart and arteries, lowered my blood sugar to normal healthy levels, and rid myself from the crippling feelings of stress and anxiety, and restored my amazing confidence, sex drive, and enthusiasm for life that I never thought I would enjoy again. My wife Carrie used this trick herself, and it amazed me how she melted off 28 pounds of nasty fat from all over her arms, hips, and thighs, transforming herself into the slender, lean, sexy woman I fell in love with over 20 years ago. Without changing a single thing in our daily diets, we still ate our favorite foods every day, such as apple pie, pizza, French fries, potato chips. In fact, it is actually recommended to continue consuming all these foods. I know you may be feeling skeptical about this now, and I understand. But as incredible as this sounds, all this is possible with just a simple 30 seconds after meal habit that goes against everything you know about how to lose weight. You see, there are some very bad, even extremely bad people with what can only be described as evil intentions, who want you to think it's all your fault, that want you to think you're somehow broken, but it's not your fault. In the next 5 minutes, I'll show you the exact cause of all the unexplained fat gain that is currently plaguing as much as 70% of the American people. Why being overweight has nothing to do with lack of self-control, but very much to do with a little known and yet highly disturbing dysfunction that starts from the first moment you put food in your mouth. And how using this easy-to-follow solution is the only way to banish cravings and melt pounds of toxic fat, while shielding yourself from premature aging, strokes, type 2 diabetes, and other dangerous disorders. It will absolutely shock you how simple this method actually is, and it may anger some of the biggest health and diet gurus whose fad diets won't be needed anymore. A never-to-be-seen, yet extremely straightforward after-meal habit that restarts your body's natural ability to burn massive amounts of excessive fat. It has nothing to do with fasting, exhausting exercise, counting calories, crazy diets, extreme cardio like CrossFit or P90X, or insanity, and in no way is related or has anything to do with gastric bypass surgery. It has helped me, my wife, and 197,830 women and men, mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, and grandparents who have tried every single diet with no luck.
I'm down 42 pounds now, so I guess you could say it worked pretty well for me. My life is so busy. I'm just thankful that I was able to do something for myself for once. And it wasn't about judgmental people either, although some people can be cruel. I did this because of how I was feeling about how I looked and felt. And I'm so incredibly happy now. It's like an inner peace has taken over. My heart is healthy, my cholesterol is back to normal, joint and back pain has disappeared, my clothes fit again. I'm happy again, and it's been a wonderful transition.
I feel lean, peaceful, happy. I finally get to go to all those fun activities with my wife and our son and daughter without the thought of them being ashamed of me. It's a blessing to know that you no longer have to worry about heart problems or being tired and exhausted all the time. I've tried so many things over the years. I believe this is the only thing that's kept its promise. It worked. I thank you deeply.
Every single day, my mail gets flooded with thousands of success stories from folks around the world who wanted to share their personal success with me. And this only proves one thing, that this method works for anyone, including you. No matter if you're 20 or 80 years old, no matter if you've been battling with stubborn fat for years, or you just want to tone your body and restore your youthful vitality. And no matter your current medical condition. You may think there's nothing else to be seen or heard, but the truth is, neither you or your doctor know about this extraordinary yet unconventional breakthrough. I guarantee you. So please listen, because time flies fast. Some very rude people with horrible intentions towards you don't want you to see and hear what I'm about to share today, due to the massive loss in profits they're about to experience. In fact, this is the second time I'm uploading the same presentation. I know this may come as a shock to you, but there are people in the weight loss industry that will pull every dirty trick in the book and even make up a few new ones to keep you overweight and unhealthy, especially since doing so makes them filthy rich. So please make sure you pay attention to every second of this video, because it may very well save your life or the life of someone you love. Just imagine never having to deal with judgmental looks from ignorant people that think of you as if you were less than a normal person, only because they assume you are just too self-indulgent, lacking the necessary control and ambition to lose weight. Instead, everybody will look at you with admiration and maybe a little jealousy, asking themselves how could they replicate your success. Your days will be blessed and happy, full of happiness and joy, and every morning you'll wake up full of confidence in your brand new fit body, ready to take over the world. No more having trouble getting out of the car, no more heavy breathing after a few steps or stairs, or getting tired after performing the simplest daily tasks. No more feeling constant guilt when you feel like having a bar of chocolate, like every other normal person on this earth. And no more shamefully hiding from your family just to have an extra bite between meals, or feeling the pressure to have only ridiculously tiny portions when eating out. You'll be stress and worry-free, and you'll enjoy every moment of your life with your loved ones, just like you were always meant to. Like I said, my name is Ray Brown. I'm 46 years old, and I live in a small town near Denver City with my wife Johanna, our son Sheen, and our daughter Emma. I'm no health guru, no dietitian, and no Harvard doctor. I'm just a normal person like anybody else. I work as a medical librarian for one of the top universities in the country and have done so for the last 20 years. My job as a medical librarian is to help our university's students gather data for their reports, as well as helping some of the most well-known doctors in the country with their research. Over the years, I've seen tremendous growth in the health industry, even though some of it was blatantly suppressed by Big Pharma. And sadly, despite the efforts of these brilliant professors and doctors, it continues to be so. Now, even with all this, nothing matches the weight loss breakthrough I'm about to share. My story starts nearly 6 years ago. My wife Carrie and I were happily married, expecting our second child, Emma. Our marriage couldn't be better, and we just enjoyed each other and our family every day. I was in very good shape. Some of the university students, as well as the professors, looked with jealousy at me as they saw my body. I was full of energy and zest for life, which I can say was much of the reason that Carrie fell in love with me. But then the days passed, and I noticed my body was changing bit by bit. I started craving foods like apple pie and chocolate. My belly fat started to show up under my t-shirts more and more, getting to the point where it was sometimes hanging over my belt. Even though I'm pretty sure I had maintained the same eating and exercise habits I've had all my life. My energy levels dropped drastically, and I was in constant need of a snack just to help me get through the day. Every time I got on the scale, it was clear that I was getting heavier, and my face and back were covered in sweat all the time. I felt like I was losing control of my own body. People at the university started noticing, and unfortunately, so did my wife. When I went to see our family doctor, Dr. Stone was clearly in shock to see me like this, even though he tried to hide it. But after he got back the results of my blood test, he strongly recommended that I go on a diet and start exercising more before my health got totally out of control. I wasn't aware of it back then, but that was the beginning of a 6-year nightmare. I can't even think how much money we spent on meal plans, organic food, personal trainers, fitness gurus, weight loss counseling, fitness classes like Body Pump, TRX, Insanity, and even more. I tried every variation of keto, paleo, Atkins, or raw food diets, as well as anti-stress pills and detox. I even went to a few hypnosis sessions. And I'm not going to tell you that these methods did nothing for me. No, I'll be honest. Some of them did help me drop maybe 1 or 2 pounds, at least temporarily. But like so many of us, I couldn't stick with any of them. Because right after the hope and enthusiasm of trying out a new method, there came the crushing disappointment when it would inevitably fail. And with every disappointment, I would end up returning to comfort foods. You know, the kinds that made me gain even more pounds that I'd lost. Despite all the doctors and specialists that promised to make me better, the numbers on the scale kept climbing steadily higher. Within 4 years, I gained over 40 pounds, putting me at least 65 pounds overweight, according to medical standards. I became afraid of mirrors because of the shame I felt every time I saw those slabs of fat that hung from my belly. I was stuck in this never-ending circle where my life was just the distance between 2 meals. Unfortunately, it also made it impossible for me to be intimate with my wife, Carrie, and made her become distant from me. One day, her best friend came to visit. She must have been thinking I was out with the kids, as they were talking so loud I could hear the entire conversation from the bedroom. I feel so stuck in this marriage, Tanya. On one hand, he's the father of my children, and I deeply respect that. But on the other hand, things are really going down the tubes between us. Soon, he won't be able to provide for our family or protect us anymore. It's like he's not the Ray I married 20 years ago, and as much as I would like to help him, I just feel he's not my man anymore. Her words struck me like a thunderbolt through the heart. The worst part was that she was right. I should be the father, the protector, the provider, not an emotional and financial burden. How could I support and take care of my family if I can't even help myself? But then it happened. Right on my birthday, we were on the patio having a small barbecue with our friends and family. All I could think of was the need to control my eating so I wouldn't embarrass myself even more in front of Johanna's parents.
Come on, Daddy. Make a wish and blow off the candles.
Sheen said with enthusiasm as my mother-in-law brought me my birthday cake. I tried to take a deep breath, but suddenly felt like a stabbing pain struck the center of my chest. In just a few seconds, I had the feeling of 2 fingers squeezing the life out of my heart with every beat. I was in the most pain I had ever felt. I desperately wanted to call out my wife, but realized I couldn't breathe. Everyone was looking at me. My son was in shock. Then I blacked out. I still don't know for how long I've been unconscious, but I remember waking up to the sight of wires connected to my chest. What happened? I asked in complete confusion. My wife started crying near my bed. Ray, your heart. She tried to mumble a couple words. Your heart has failed, dear, she said, bursting into tears. If this happens again, we might not be able to bring him back, I overheard the doctors tell her outside my hospital room. Even half unconscious, my working as a medical librarian through the years made it so I knew the facts. They didn't have to tell me. If you're overweight, you're 49% more likely to have deadly heart problems, 38% more likely to have a stroke, 28% more likely to get dementia. I kept thinking of my wife and kids, and their future when something inevitably happened to me. The thought of not being there to protect my daughter as she grows, seeing her turn into a charming young lady. Not being there for my son when he needs me most. I never get to walk Emma down the aisle on her big day or welcoming our grandchildren into the world. All the missed family dinners, anniversaries, and family weekends. I prayed to God to show me the way out of this nightmare. And now, I know He heard me. So pay attention, because what happened next handed me the key to the most incredible weight loss breakthrough of modern times. They kept me in for a few days, warning me that I would not be so lucky the next time. Each night while I was there, the doctor on call was Dr. Alberto Rojas, a medical expert and consultant from this small Peruvian island I'd never heard of, who was here on a hospital-to-hospital doctor sharing program. I must say, a brilliant person. He was also one of the nicest doctors I have ever known, and I'm extremely grateful to have met him, as what he had to say changed everything. Every night, he would come and spend half an hour with me, and we would tell stories. He would often tell me about his hometown, located on one of the magical islands of Peru. The vegetation and animals there are unlike anything to be seen, 90% of them unique. In fact, a lot of doctors and scientists came to this island to study these plants and herbs for their unique healing potential. Dr. Rojas and I became good friends during these nights. I told him my story, how my marriage was falling apart, how my wife didn't find me attractive anymore, how I was doomed to spend my life in loneliness. Right before my last day there, I begged him that if he knew something, anything that would help me, after all the failed diets and exercise. "Ray, my friend, I'm happy you asked me this," Dr. Rojas said to me. "People often think that when you have excess fat and you're struggling to lose weight, while nothing seems to work, it always has something to do with your eating habits, slow metabolism, hormonal problems, thyroid, and many other reasons. But in fact, these are not the cause. Yet they are the effect. I've been looking at your test results. There is not one thing here to confirm any of these as being the root cause of your weight problems. Even your metabolism is literally healthier than a 25-year-old's. Let me ask you something. Have you ever asked yourself why some lucky men and women seem to be immune to weight gain, yet others struggle with obesity for their whole life, even if they eat the same foods and drink the same drinks? This is such an important question considering the new obesity crisis, yet no one seems to even try answering it. The internet is filled with the same story we keep hearing over and over again. Eat right, count calories, be physically active, and forget about junk food. There is this buried study from 2014 from the National Center for Biotechnology Information that pharma companies won't even dare to mention. And it's very interesting because it goes against everything that is taught about weight loss in medical school. This study states that saliva from overweight people suppresses the release of certain food compounds associated with the flavor of food. And while this seems ordinary, I assure you, it's not. If you're overweight, your saliva is different from a normal person's saliva, causing you to taste less flavor in the food you eat, therefore making eating less satisfying. Now, you may think that it's not true, since you absolutely love the foods you eat, and you're half right. The receptors in your brain, on the other hand, pick up on this flavor as well, but what's happening is that it perceives it differently than it should and treats it as if it's not strong enough. That means that while some lucky folks easily feel full and satisfied from a few bites of food, the rest struggle with never reaching that feeling of being satisfied ever, no matter what or how they eat. Yet another study, this one published in the International Journal of Obesity, confirms the same thing, that the salivary composition for overweight people is different from the ones with no weight problems. Do you see any of these studies advertised on TV? Ray, I work in the big pharma industry, and I'm not happy about it either. I try to help out as many people as possible, and I also have a wife, the mother of my only child, and my family to support. Now listen carefully, because here it gets very interesting. Both of these studies show something that many of the health experts and pharma insiders know but don't share. When analyzing the test results, it showed that overweight subjects presented a low level of salivary lipolysis and something called proteolytic enzymes compared with subjects who fit within the normal weight range. Now, lipolysis is actually the process in which fat is burned and transformed into energy with the help of these proteolytic enzymes. So what is all this, and why is this important? Ray, as shocking as this may sound, digestion doesn't start in your stomach. It starts in your mouth, way before food reaches your stomach. These digestive enzymes, which are secreted by the salivary glands, have the power to produce and accelerate chemical reactions like carbs and fat digestion or calorie burning. They basically grab your food like a fishnet might do, from the moment it enters your mouth, following it through your entire digestive system until it reaches your gut. Once they reach your gut, these salivary enzymes do more than follow the food through your 9-meter-long intestines. They play a part in breaking down every bite you take, making sure no harmful carbs, sugar, or fat touch your organs, and making sure that no extra or excess fat gets deposited on your belly, arms, hips, thighs, and so on. Pizza, burgers, donuts, all your favorite foods only become a problem for your stomach only if these salivary enzymes are found in low levels. But see, it gets even more interesting. Another 2014 study, published by the US National Library of Medicine, found that these salivary enzymes are actually found in the saliva of infants as well. Our body is designed to produce it from our first days of life, especially because it is essential for milk fat globules digestion, which is very rich in fats. Now just imagine what happens when your body fails to produce the proper enzyme from the start. No surprise that you're struggling with that nasty, indestructible fat, because your weight gain basically started from the moment you were born. And most wrongly blame this on genetics, when it's the saliva they should be looking for. Now this goes even deeper. These enzymes are so powerful that they transform once again to help your fat cells burn down fat and turn it into energy. In other words, this super enzyme that comes from saliva is a key component in the long battle with weight gain as well as its presence. It's essential for a healthy functioning body, Dr. Rojas concluded. I was shocked by what he had to say, but I finally understood. I understood why no doctor had lifted a finger to help me, why the US obesity rate has now reached a dangerous 40%. No surprise that the weight loss and diet industry is now worth over $80 billion. That's a lot of money. I could imagine all those CEOs sitting in their fancy offices, laughing their way to the bank, at the expense of people's lives. It made me sick. So if you ever thought that lack of exercise or diet causes you weight gain, if you thought that you didn't diet enough or haven't found the right diet, then think again. I know this because in just a few seconds, I will show you the true yet little known cause of weight gain as proven by clinical studies. Plus, the simple 30-second after meal habit you could do right now to lose every inch of extra fat from your belly, arms, hips, thighs, as well as that nasty visceral fat. Wait a few minutes, I have something for you, Dr. Rojas then told me. He returned 5 minutes later with some recipe written on an old scrap of paper and handed it to me. Here, Ray, this will help you regain your life back, the good doctor said. Then he shook my hand, I thanked him, watched him as he left, and never saw him again. On the paper, there was written a recipe that had some strange plants which I've never heard of before. The minute he left, I began researching on my phone. First in the recipe was acacia gum. Now, this plant has more than a dozen species, and only the one found in the Peruvian rainforest, which is very rare, provides the purest acacia gum powder. And as it turns out, it's the key ingredient to a fast digestion and fat burning. In order to properly start your digestion in the mouth, the saliva enzymes need a clean environment to perform the process of melting excess calories. And acacia gum does exactly that. This miracle ingredient has the potential to keep your weight in a healthy range while also reducing your overall body fat. In a study involving 120 women, 60 women took 30 grams per day of acacia gum for 6 weeks, while the other 60 took a placebo containing just 1 gram of pectin. The group taking acacia gum all saw remarkable weight loss, while the other group stayed more or less the same. The next plant was camu camu fruit, and I didn't understand at first, but as I went deeper into my research, I realized why this is so powerful. Camu camu fruit reduces digestive system inflammation, creating a friendly environment for salivary digestion enzyme multiplication. So the more powerful salivary enzymes with roles in digestion you have, the faster you burn out excess fat and turn calories into pure energy. Camu camu acts like a molecular sponge which absorbs toxins, then neutralizes bacteria and other impurities from your mouth and surface of your teeth, so the environment is good for the enzymes to do their job. And, as an extra benefit, it supports the elimination of bad breath. The next plant on the list was coconut juice powder. Coconut juice powder contains various nutrients that benefit your health, which decrease high blood pressure and cholesterol levels. Moreover, it is a great source of B-complex vitamins, which helps normalize cholesterol levels. It also helps prevent a hardening of the arteries caused by plaque buildup that can lead to heart disease. It can also satiate your hunger and make you feel full for longer. Medium-chain triglyceride fat in coconut helps in achieving satiety. Sugar content in the coconut gives instant energy to the body. It prevents repeated hunger and reduces cravings, thereby keeping blood sugar levels under control. Mangosteen is an extremely powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant, able to repair the saliva calorie breaking process and stimulate your digestive tract for a better nutrient absorption. It contains substances which help decrease inflammation and even help regulate blood sugar levels. A recent study published in the Nutrients Journal shows that mangosteen improves insulin resistance and promotes weight loss. Then there's ginseng root, an ancient herb that can help you burn fat and lose weight. Ginseng contains brown adipose tissue, or BAT, which can convert fat into energy faster. That's one of the reasons why after consuming ginseng, you are high on energy. This incredible plant induces the production of gut bacteria that changes the pattern of calorie burn. This impacts our metabolism, ultimately leading to weight loss. Another study showed that this herbal powder cleaned and cleared out well over 2/3 of tooth plaque, and in some cases, nearly 100%, which means that your mouth will be clean so that the calorie burning process can function properly. It is also being used to help enhance the immune system, reduce stress, improve sleep, boost energy, lower cholesterol, and regulate blood pressure. But more importantly, it has the seemingly magical ability to break the toxic cycle in your fat cells and help reduce hunger cravings. Then there's pomegranate, an incredible plant with great potential to not only help your body burn fat correctly, but also fight off type 2 diabetes. And this one too has the capability to curb hunger cravings and flush toxins out of your fat cells. It is also used to treat intestinal infections, fungal infections, and is even helpful for curbing arthritis. Acerola cherries have huge amounts of antioxidants. They are well known for having 13 times more vitamin C than oranges. They also contain other vitamins such as A, B1, B2, and B3. One study shows that polyphenols in acerola cherries have a lowering effect on blood sugar and help reduce weight loss. This amazing fruit has the ability to improve metabolic function. Moreover, it has a diuretic effect and removes excess water and reduces edema. Dozens of research papers now find this as one of the best detox remedies for the gastrointestinal tract. Then there is turmeric root. Turmeric has certain anti-inflammatory properties that help reduce the inflammation in the body. More importantly, it suppresses the inflammation of fat tissue. According to a study published in the European Journal of Nutrition, this power ingredient can help reduce high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high blood sugar, and other metabolic conditions. The list continued with over 30 incredible plants, herbs, fruits, and even some minerals. I also found that these were extremely common on this Peruvian island where Dr. Rojas was from. In fact, in a story published by National Geographic, in certain indigenous Peruvian villages and cities, including Dr. Rojas's own city, they chew a certain plant called yucca, mix it up with saliva, and spit the masticated root into jars. Then they let it sit for a few days, and while they don't have the same modern scientific equipment to verify the extraordinary results, they drink this beverage. The enzymes in their saliva then, due to this fermentation and special boiling process, become so powerful that they break down carbohydrates and help their bodies lose fat naturally. It was incredible. Study after study proved that these nutrients can restore the body's natural fat and calorie breaking process. I couldn't believe the secrets hidden in this strange Peruvian recipe, a clinically proven solution to target the root cause of unexplained weight gain. I was extremely excited. It was like I had won the lottery. Now, there was just one more thing I had to figure out. How can I combine these foods in a practical way so that I can take them without generating huge costs? I made a quick calculation, and the amounts I'd have to pay were way more than I could afford with my current job as a medical librarian. Even though these ingredients were abundant in this small Peruvian island, it would be extremely difficult to find them for cheap in the US. I couldn't afford to spend $500 every week. A friend of mine connected me with Dr. Thomas Sully, a health expert and anti-aging specialist with 28 years of experience. His job involves working with top celebrities all day, many of them which you've seen in papers. He has handled thousands of cases throughout his life in his office. Besides being an extremely charismatic and nice person and a doctor, he was highly experienced with both traditional and herbal medicine and very happy to help since his sister was also suffering from unexplained weight gain. Your research is 100% correct, and it proves that the root cause of weight gain is this: the location of where digestion starts, in the mouth, Dr. Sully said to me. When you fix the real cause and restart the calorie breaking process, your body will start burning fat correctly and you will lose all your extra weight, the doctor concluded. Dr. Sully then warned me that in order for the mixture to work, the ingredients had to be combined in the right order and proportions. So all we had to do was find a small, discreet company that would help me put this formula into an easy-to-consume powder. We specifically looked for a company that was both FDA approved and GMP, Good Manufacturing Practices, certified. It was extremely difficult. It took us weeks until we found someplace reliable. You'd be shocked by how ignorant most of these companies are when it comes to maintaining the quality and purity of their ingredients. And so after finding the right lab partner to work with, he and his team got to work. It wasn't easy. They worked around the clock to decompose the healthy food compounds into specific molecules and extract these incredible digestion and fat-burning nutrients. After months of trial and error and lots of extremely hard work, Dr. Sully and his research team finally came up with the 100% natural supplement we all put our hopes in. He adjusted the quantities for each ingredient, and the end result was a formula 4 times more powerful than the original. He added a few key vitamins for fast nutrient absorption, vitamin E for cell regeneration and skin rejuvenation, vitamin C to boost the immune system and healthy blood pressure, and selenium to help support thyroid health and strengthen hair. The result was a work of art. Tears filled my eyes as I held in my hands the powder that no one in the greedy big pharma industry had the courage or goodwill to make. Now all we needed was one willing patient to test it. And of course, that patient was me. All I had to do was mix 1 scoop a day with a big glass of water or my favorite milkshake. Now, of course, I was skeptical. And in all fairness, I had every right to be, after everything else had failed me. But as Dr. Sully explained, this wasn't like anything else. So I agreed to try it. The first couple days, nothing happened, and to be honest, I started losing hope. After the 3rd day, I was that close to giving up. But after a few days, the scale showed a couple of pounds lower, giving me and my wife hope. Then something incredible happened, because every morning I would get on the scale to see that I had lost 1 or 2 more pounds since the day before. Moreover, one late evening, my wife suggested we stay up late and order some pizza. I said, no thanks, I already ate dinner. My wife stared at me in shock. I would never say no to pizza. It seemed that once the salivary process started functioning correctly, my body could finally burn fat correctly, and my hunger cravings stopped. I was back in control over my appetite, and it was all natural. I didn't have to force myself to stop eating, and was still down at least 1 pound every morning, like clockwork. Plus, I still ate my favorite desserts like cheesecake, chocolate bars, and apple pie. Then, one morning, I'll always remember that day. My wife was in the kitchen when she heard me screaming out of my lungs. She thought I was having another heart episode. She ran upstairs to the bathroom, and when she saw me standing there on that scale, she froze. I smiled at her like a kid on Christmas Day. As we both stared down, we burst into tears. I had lost 59 pounds. My wife couldn't take her eyes off me. That night as we got home, she grabbed my hand and led me to the bedroom. We had the most passionate night of our lives. Every single bit of fat from my belly, back, and arms had vanished. When Dr. Sully saw my test results, he called this a true miracle. My skin was glowing, my hair was shining, I was no longer at risk of heart problems, my blood sugar had returned to healthy levels, the pain in my feet was all gone, and I was full of energy and vibrant all day long. We had done it. I had finally escaped from the vicious fat belly prison. Can you imagine how I felt? Better yet, how you will feel when your doctor tells you the same. It was like a time machine had taken me back 6 years earlier, before all this hell started. That year, Carrie and I spent our entire summer together, hiking in the Appalachian Mountains. With every step I took, I felt blessed and thanked heaven for giving me my life back. As I watched Carrie looking at me, seeing me as her husband again, as the strong father for our kids, I couldn't help but break into tears. I could have only dreamt of this a while back. Now, it goes without saying that I wanted to share this with the entire world. But as Dr. Sully said, to prove this formula works for anyone, we needed more people willing to test it. So we put out some advertisements online, recruiting 1,288 volunteers, more than we had expected. Men, women, mothers, fathers, people from all walks of life. We specifically asked them to be 35 years old or more, with unexplained weight gain, exhausted, constant hunger, and tired of diets and exercise. The results were crazier than in our wildest imagination. Within just a few weeks, every single one of the 1,288 people experienced a massive drop in their weight. The average weight loss was 56 pounds. Food cravings vanished, while each one of them reported a staggering increase in their energy levels. Dangerous, visceral fat around organs gone. So was any back pain, joint pain, and other muscular aches, all gone. Brain fog lifted while stress and anxiety disappeared. They all eliminated risks of heart disease and normalized their blood sugar levels, both hemoglobin and A1C. The feeling I had as thank you emails and phone calls kept pouring in was absolutely priceless. Let's hear some of them right now. This works. Oh my God, something finally works. It's unbelievable. I was this close to getting surgery when I found your website. Luckily, I didn't have to go through with it and risk my life. Never in my wildest dreams have I thought this program would work so well. For the first time in my life, I feel like a heavy weight has been lifted off my chest. I feel amazing and so attractive. I am full of energy and happier than ever. I felt extremely embarrassed when my grandson Mark came to me and said, "Grandpa, you're so fat." I needed to do something, and when I read about your method, I knew I had to try it out. I verified all your research, and you're right. It's 100% accurate. What's even more incredible is how well this works. I'm slimmer than my two sons, and it's mind-blowing. My back pain has disappeared. I feel younger, more energetic, and happier than I did in decades. I'd wish I'd known about this sooner. I've made it my life's mission to help as many people as possible regain control of their lives with this incredible formula. And now that you've seen how this worked for my wife and everyone else, I want you to see how it works for you. It is my great honor to introduce Metazyne, the world's first natural blend that addresses the root cause of your weight gain, a vicious cycle happening inside the fat cells of your body that blocks your body's ability to burn fat correctly and damages your overall health in the process. This formula is the perfect combination of 22 carefully mixed plant extracts and vitamins, each one of them extremely high quality and purity. We only produce Metazyne in our FDA-approved and good manufacturing practices GMP facility using the latest technology and equipment. Metazyne is non-GMO and safe. The process is very easy to follow. It doesn't require any restrictive diets or starving yourself. In fact, it's recommended that you continue eating all your favorite foods. And based on the tens of thousands of successful results we've seen, we can now say for certain that Metazyne is more powerful than any diet in the world. Because it doesn't just help you lose weight, but also rejuvenates your heart and arteries, improves your memory, focus, boosts your energy levels and sex drive, and so much more. That's why you'll also be improving your overall health at the same time. Does this sound good to you? Then look below now. Once you make your choice, you'll be taken to our secure checkout page. It takes less than a minute to enter your payment information, and once your order is confirmed, we'll ship Metazyne straight to your doorstep. Just select the 3-package option or any other package you want and hit the button below. This is a one-time payment with no subscription or hidden charges. And remember, this can only be found through this website, on this page only. It's not available anywhere else in the world. So, are you ready to break free from the belly fat prison? To burn pounds of fat like clockwork every night, even when you're sleeping? To look in the mirror and feel what it's like to touch with your own hands a flat belly, toned abs, thighs, and hips? To regain the freedom and flexibility you had in your younger years? To watch your husband or wife look at you with a gleam in their eyes again? And to make all your friends jealous of the incredible transformation you've been through? To never feel like a burden to your family ever again? Just allow yourself to feel all this for a moment and tell me, how much would it be worth? $10,000? $5,000? After seeing the staggering success of this program, Dr. Sully recommended that we should charge at least $997. And while my wife said it's worth at least $497 given my incredible transformation, and even though Metazyne has already helped out 197,830 women and men from all over the world who would happily pay double that amount. If this were about the money for us, we could have just taken Big Pharma's offer and retire in riches on some exotic island. But then stories like the ones you heard would not exist. And that's unacceptable for me, because the last thing I want is for anyone else to go through what I went through. All the pain, the fear of deadly healthy complications, all the shame, frustration, and humiliation. Nobody should be forced to go through this, ever. That's why I'll never ask for $997, $497, or anything close to that. Our goal is to just cover the costs of the ingredients and keep this website running for as long as we can. And even though we initially set the price at $99 per bottle, I'm very appreciative that you took the time and watched the entire presentation. So today, you can get a 30-day supply of Metazyne for a one-time fee of $69, and not a penny more. Now, after seeing the results of 197,830 women and men, Dr. Sully and I recommend you take Metazyne for at least 90 days to reach your ideal weight. This will give your body enough time to absorb and process all the powerful nutrients behind this formula so you can start resetting your weight. Also, the ingredients we use to produce Metazyne are very hard to find, and that makes it almost impossible to keep our inventory very high. So you need to hurry, because every time we get a new shipment, our stock runs out in days. By all means, we want to help you as much as we can. That's why after talking to our manufacturer, they allowed us to offer a huge discount on the 6-bottle package of Metazyne. This means that you can get it for only $49 per bottle and also get free shipping from us for as long as the supply lasts. Once we run out of stock, this discount will be gone forever. So select on the 3-bottle package or any other package you want and join the 197,830 happy women and men who now enjoy the most incredible moments with their families, happier than ever. Now, like I said, given the current economic and social situation, super high quality ingredients like the ones we use become scarcer by the day. Once we run out of product, it will take us 3 months to restock, which means that we are not able to guarantee supply the next time you come back. Then, there's all those greedy weight loss giants that would like to see this site taken down right away, constantly threatening us and our families. I don't know how much longer we can keep this website live, so make sure you make your choice below. I felt like such a failure and a burden to my family, but now they absolutely love my transformation. It's amazing. I can eat anything I want: burgers, cheesecake, apple pie, guilt-free and worry-free, and I'm down 58 pounds already. My kids couldn't be more proud of their mom, and when my husband looks at me, I can see that sparkle in his eyes that he had when we got married. A few weeks later, and I've lost 23 pounds. Oh, that feeling when you weigh yourself each day and the numbers keep going down. I used to feel so tired and achy all the time. Instead, now I'm full of energy. My joints feel healthier than ever. I feel amazing. It's like a big rock lifted off my chest and shoulders. I'm finally free and much lighter. Thank you so much. Look, if you're skeptical, I totally understand. You've probably tried a lot of methods over the years, put your hopes and trust in one after another. They let you down. But I'm very confident that Metazyne is the right thing for you. That's why I'm going to give you our 60-day money-back guarantee. If after 2 months you don't see a dramatic change, even if you use the entire bottle, send us an email or call us and we'll refund every penny back. No questions asked. There are no hidden fees and no subscriptions. Just a simple, secure, one-time only payment. So go ahead and make your choice now. The truth is, you only have 2 options. Option number 1, you can leave this page and act like nothing happened. Ignore this powerful solution, all the groundbreaking research, and the tens of thousands of women and men standing behind its incredible results. Continue to face the judgmental looks of ignorant people that think less of you. Waste thousands of dollars on useless diets and personal training programs that ultimately fail you one by one, knowing that you'll never solve your problem this way. This may sound familiar, and I think you already know what will happen if you go down this road. You can feel it growing inside you. The hopelessness, the exhaustion, the endless anger, stress, and anxiety. The thought of being condemned to a life of humiliation and shame. I know you don't want that. But why go down this road when you can choose option number 2? and let's be honest, it's the only one worth considering. You can say yes to this amazing transformation right now and hit the button below. You can say yes to yourself. So go ahead, choose below right now. Select your package and we'll deliver Metazyne straight to your doorstep. This is your moment right here. The moment when you look in the mirror and see yourself getting thinner and thinner, and your body and mind feel younger. You feel light as you walk down the street, and people can't help to notice what an amazing body you have. The future starts today with one simple click, and it's 100% risk-free and fully guaranteed. Still here? If so, you probably have some more questions about Metazyne. So let me just go ahead and answer them now. Is Metazyne safe? We created Metazyne for people of all ages, no matter if you're 20 or 80 years old, and no matter your current health condition. It has no side effects, is 100% natural, non-GMO, doesn't contain any stimulants, and is not habit-forming. We produce Metazyne only using high-quality ingredients in an FDA-approved and GMP, Good Manufacturing Practices certified facility. It doesn't require any restrictive diets or starving yourself. In fact, it is recommended that you continue eating all your favorite foods as you shed pounds effortlessly. That's because Metazyne is the only blend in the world that addresses the root cause of your weight gain, a broken process that blocks your body's ability to burn fat correctly and damages your overall health in the process. Now, as always, if you suffer from allergies or other certain medical conditions at this time, we advise you that you consult with your doctor first. What if Metazyne doesn't work for me? The more results we see, the more confident we are that Metazyne will work for you. To put your mind at ease, we decided to give a risk-free 60-day money-back guarantee for every bottle of Metazyne. You have 2 full months to enjoy the amazing benefits of this formula. If you decide Metazyne is not for you, you can return what you haven't used in full for an immediate, no questions asked refund. It should come as no surprise. If I thought this was not going to work, I would not be offering such a deal. But the tens of thousands of men and women who have tried it are now living proof that Metazyne works for anyone, and it will work for you too. How many bottles of Metazyne should I order? The real benefit of Metazyne will come after several months of this formula working through your body. This is why we recommend the 3 or the 6 months packages. Even if you order the 30-day supply only, after a week or 2 of seeing the incredible results it has, you'll most likely want to order more. But as I mentioned earlier, we are constantly running out of stock, and during this international crisis, it is hard for us to restock as fast as we'd like to. This may be your last chance to take advantage of our super discounted 3 or 6 bottle packages. How do I get Metazyne? It's easy. Choose your package below and fill the information on the next page. Try Metazyne for 2 months, and if you're unhappy with the results, even if you've used up the entire bottle, send me an email and you get every penny back. So go ahead and select below now.